Our ancestors crossed the great void untold millennia ago. Pilgrims from a dying world long since lost. From tumultuous beginnings, their struggle, courage, and fortitude gave birth to our civilization. For many centuries, our people prospered. Peace ruled our planet, and our understanding of the world around us grew. Our scientists have long speculated that ours was not the only tribe to make this journey and establish a new home on another world. But their searching has been met again and again with silence. Until now. The transmission was weak and incomplete, but in a language not unlike our own. Our anticipation grew. What culture and knowledge had our brothers developed during the long centuries of our separation? A starship was prepared, ambassadors recruited. But gradually, the meaning of the message became clear. It was a desperate call for help. Galvanized by the revelation that we are not alone, our fleet has been equipped, and we are ready to answer the call of our brethren. What shall we find as we set our course beyond the stars?
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our weekly Firaxis live stream. My name's Pete Murray. I'm joined today by legendary game designer Sid Meier.
Good to see you, Pete.
You look different this week.
I got a haircut. Thanks for noticing.
You're welcome. Got some cool things before we get into today's live stream about starships and starship construction. Actually, a Firaxis employee named Andy Clark, a guy who's one of the artists working on Starships.
Andy actually created the Supremacy and the Purity Starships for our game.
Yeah. Andy is also a Lego genius. His design for the Doctor Who Lego set has just been officially approved, so Andy's design is going to go out as an official Lego kit. That's really cool. If you'd like to get your hands on another one of Andy's designs, the Civilization Beyond Earth Worker is on ideas.lego.com, and you can upvote that. And if it gets over 10,000 votes, then LEGO will consider it for production. So definitely check that out if you get a chance. But we're here to talk about Starships this week. And last week, you gave us a quick overview to the game.
Last week, we saw kind of the first couple of moves in the game. We built our first Starship. We went out on a really quick mission. I thought this week we might do something a little more challenging, get into some of the tactics and strategies that are involved in combat, and also work in a little more Starship customization.
Okay.
So we have a situation here which might come up maybe a little later in the game.
Yeah.
We're surrounded by the other civilizations, and we think we're ready to take one of them on.
All right. Well, let's jump into our game here real quick.
So this is the home planet of Elodie and her kingdom.
This is Libre 88 right there.
Exactly. And we notice she's already built a wonder, the Jumpstart Wonder, which is going to give her the first move in the battle. So that's something we're going to want to kind of take into account as we prepare our strategy. But let's travel to Libre 88 and see what's going on. She's not too happy about the fact that we're intruding on her territory. So that's possibly understandable. But we are prepared.
Approaching Libre 80.
Here's kind of a preview of the Supremacy fleet that we're going to be running into. And here, of course, we have our crew that's available to help us out with any advice that we might need. Let's see what's unique about this planet, Pete. What do you think?
I think that sounds good. Oh, highly reflected asteroid fields will block lasers and cannons. That's interesting.
That's something to think about as we prepare for this battle. Now, we definitely want to know the composition of the enemy fleet. So let's look into that. Looks like she's got 2 starships and 3 megabots. Okay, so megabots are defensive-only starships. They only come into play on this particular planet, but she has really got some pretty powerful defenses available at this planet. So we're going to have to, again, take that into account as we put our fleet together. Now, fortunately, we've saved up quite a bit of energy, so we can customize our fleet for this upcoming battle. Okay, our customization screen, we've already built a third starship. And we're going to give each of these starships a different role in this upcoming battle. I think our flagship here is going to be kind of a sniper, going to have some long-range weapons. I'm going to take the cannon off, add some lasers.
Because lasers are less affected by range than cannon are.
Right.
Okay.
Lasers are kind of our long-range weapons. Those megabots kind of worry me a bit, so I'm going to put some armor and some shields. Now we notice our speed is turned red here. That's warning us that we've got a very slow starship, and speed is very important in battles, so we're going to have to bump up our engine power here as well to get some decent speed out of this. So we've got some good lasers, some good defenses, and I think this ship is ready to go.
Okay. So we should build one that takes kind of a different approach. What if we wanted to make something that was more like an up-close brawler sort of ship?
Well, cannon are the perfect weapon for that type of ship. They are awesome at short range. We're going to upgrade our cannon here. Get rid of those lasers. Again, if we're going to go up close, we're definitely going to need those defensive systems, the shields and the armor. And again, we've slowed our ship down significantly, and especially if we want to get up close, we're going to need some speed. So we're going to bump that up.
Now, do different modules slow your ship down at different rates? Will a shield make your ship slower than, say, tacking on more armor will?
Armor is definitely has a lot of weight to it. It's going to slow your ship down more than shields, for example. And some of these other systems actually have very little effect, things like stealth and sensors, which are light.
Okay.
Armor and fighters are probably the heaviest systems, and they will slow your ship down the most.
Okay.
Speaking of fighters, I think we're going to need some fighters in this battle. So we're going to put a ship together that's going to kind of hang back launch fighters and torpedoes. So torpedoes are long-range weapons, fighters are long-range weapons. So we've got a ship here whose role is going to be kind of to hang back. Not going to need a whole lot of speed to do that, but we still want a reasonable amount of speed. And once those fighters and torpedoes are done, why don't we give her some weapons here?
So, okay.
So we've got 3 different ships with 3 different roles. Hopefully that'll be enough to kind of take us into battle.
Okay.
So let's see what happens next here.
Okay.
Pete, you look a little different.
Different? Different how?
Different good. Different good. Yeah, and I'm sure it'll work out fine.
Okay. No, okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So, looking at our awesome fleet here, Elodie is possibly offering to negotiate.
Let's see what she says.
Let's see what she has to say.
Oh no, she's not. She says.
Still not impressed.
So sometimes when you go to a leader's planet, if they're in a weaker position than you, they'll be willing to negotiate.
They might be willing to negotiate, offer you something to kind of go back to where you came from. In this case, apparently we haven't made much of an impression on Elodie.
Well, she must feel pretty confident on her chances. What are our chances now? If we go to tell me more about the enemy vessels, I wonder what they'll say about us at this point.
Success, 40.
40%.
40%. Whew.
It's those megabots.
Those megabots are powerful. We might have bit off a little more than we can chew here, but let's go into the battle and see what happens.
All right, sounds good.
Yes, Commander.
So because they've got the jump start wonder, they're actually going to go first.
We are potentially in big trouble here. So they're going to get the first. Here's our fleet.
Okay.
And now we get to see the enemy fleet. They're launching fighters from their starships. Here come a couple of megabots, shooting some lasers at us.
Now, we should point out that we cranked up the difficulty for this week's mission. So previously at PAX South, you were showing things on easy difficulty. Last week, you showed them on kind of average difficulty, and now we've really popped it up, so it's hard now.
This is the hard difficulty level. That was your idea, Pete, if I'm not mistaken. So.
I have nothing but good ideas. That's why they gave me the red shirt.
All right, so this is our sniper here. Now, the special conditions here are that the asteroids are going to block fire completely. So we're going to have to find a nice open line of fire to to use our sniper. Or sometimes discretion is a better part of valor. So we're going to kind of wait here, maybe one more turn to get a clean shot.
And we need to be careful of that narrow passage that's between us and the enemy fleet. That red ring right there, that could open up on another turn, and we could end up with fighters in the backfield. That would be not good.
In fact, we're going to count on that and put our cannon, our tank, behind that narrow passage, planning the next turn to kind of swoop out, blast somebody, and swoop back in again.
Okay.
And here's our torpedo and fighter Starship. We're going to launch a fighter here. We can only do one action per turn, so we might as well use that to get our fighters into the battle.
Okay.
And that's going to end our first turn.
All right, so now we'll see what the, we got a little bit of a move left, so we can just kind of end that up.
Okay, here comes the fighters they've launched. Oh, they've gotten big.
So it's interesting that Megabot didn't try coming up through the passageway there.
I don't think he had enough movement points, but this is where the action's going to be here. So this is our key guy, our tank with the cannon. Looks like that passage, unfortunately, didn't open up on this turn. So our clever plan has been foiled.
We have ample other opportunities to be clever. What if we kind of got our sniper?
Yeah, let's use him first.
Tucked him out a little bit. We took a shot at those fighters. Oh, we're going to have to go out pretty far because even that little asteroid there is probably going to be enough to block.
Let's see what happens here.
Shot. Yep.
Yeah, we're going to go one more turn, you might say.
Yeah, bridge too far.
All right, so we can do 48 damage to the fighters, which is enough to take them out, or 44 damage to this ship here.
Okay, well that ship has two cannon, a torpedo, and it looks like he's launched the fighters already. So, but the thing is, at 75, we're not guaranteed to get the kill. The fighters have more movement, but one cannon.
All right, we got to start off the battle with the win here.
Nice shot.
All right, so we've taken care of them, and now we get back under cover.
Hoping to get under cover here.
All right.
One thing we might want to check is our special battle card here.
So that says warp increases speed by 2 this mission. So that's for one ship.
Okay, then we have to use that judiciously. I'm tempted to use it on him to get him back behind cover, but let's see what else.
What if we gave it to our cannon guy?
And
then he could sprint out.
Do some awesome damage and sprint back.
Yeah.
All right, let's bring our fighters into the battle here.
Are you going to want to bring them all the way out?
Well, that's a good question, Pete. I think they will definitely die on the next turn if I do.
But they are replaceable, so if we win this, they'll be available for the next fight. So.
Yeah, maybe we can wear this guy down a little bit.
Okay.
Or if not, at least take his shot for the next turn.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a good amount of damage there. Maybe I can get a critical hit on him. His cannon are damaged. Oh, that's a shame for him. Too bad. All right, now we got our tank ready to take his move. And we do have those extra 2 moves in reserve here if we need to use them.
And that applies for the whole mission, so we could use that now and have that apply all the way through.
I think I could probably take him out and then sneak back, but he's already kind of damaged.
The other thing you could do is you could take it down all the way to the bottom of his movement and shoot that lower Megabot.
Yeah, I think I'd like to take somebody else out, kind of even the odds here a little bit.
Okay.
So let me see how much damage I can do to this guy. 107. Oh, he's got 120.
Not quite enough. How about the other guy? I mean, it's his front arc, so you're going to be doing
70,
less. That's a 70.
No. Oh man! So I can actually bump his movement up, get behind him, and one of the interesting things here is that shields, of course, are less effective.
Right.
From the rear, and you can kind of see by that crescent around it. So I could probably get to this square and then do enough damage to take him out. I would have. Well, I'm going to do that.
So if you do that, then you could also turn your ship at the last movement point. Maybe put more of your front arc towards that Megabot.
It's a risky move, but
I like our odds.
Hey. All right, so now we're going to do enough damage to take this guy out.
Do it. And another thing worth pointing out is even though you've got 3 cannon modules on that ship, you can only shoot at 1 target per ship per turn. So there's no splitting your fire between different things.
Right, but you'll actually see the 3 different cannon shots come out of the counters. So yeah, I'm going to turn towards him and hope for the best.
I think that's a good choice.
Now I've got this guy here. He has both lasers, torpedoes, and fighters. We've launched fighters. Let's see what we can do with torpedoes. Torpedoes are really cool long-range weapons. And what this is showing us is for each turn where the torpedo is going to end up. So here, the torpedo is going to be here at the end of the first turn, here at the end of the second turn, etc. And we can choose the moment that we're going to detonate this torpedo. So let's see if we can just kind of discourage them from getting too close to our fighter and our sniper.
So that what that'll do is that'll force him to start, moving things out of the way. And the AI is pretty good about prioritizing dodging torpedoes simply because it really stinks to get hit by them.
Exactly.
Enemy reinforcements.
All
So
right,
that
so let's see
concludes
what
our
happens.
turn. Okay, so they're kind of getting out of the way of that torpedo. That's interesting. Although that does give them a line of fire.
Oh, engine's critical.
Ouch! Oh,
They're door fighters,
yeah,
but we knew that was going to happen.
Kind of knew that was going to happen. Looks like our cannon guys survived.
Oh, and he ran. Okay, so explain what we're going to do here.
All right, so this is the next turn of our torpedo. And as I mentioned, we can choose the moment to detonate this torpedo.
And it's going to hit everything in that blast radius.
Everything
right
in this
there.
blast radius. So we're going to get kind of close to these guys. I'm going to, and maybe close to that guy.
Let's
we'll
see what happens.
see what happens.
Go!
Enemy cannons.
Oh!
So we've done some critical damage to these guys.
Yeah.
And
all
that
sorts
was
of
excellent.
that really
Excellent.
was.
All right, I'm going to save my cannon guy for last. To see who's left. Now,
Okay.
oh, our engines are damaged. I forgot. So this is our sniper, but we can see with engine damage, he can move only about half of what he was able to move on the last turn.
And you can actually see at the bottom of the screen that red module, that red engine module shows that
indicates we have
we're
critical
critted.
damage. Now we can basically just do one action per turn. Well, that action could be to repair our critical damage if we wanted to do that.
Yeah.
But we do have a shot on this guy.
But it's only 23.
Yeah, he's at full strength, so that's not going to do us a whole lot of good. Let's come back to that guy.
So the open passage, or the narrow passage is open now.
That's
but
true.
Maybe if you moved kind of southeast a little bit, one tile, that would at least make them maneuver a wider way around that, assuming the narrow passage would close. I don't know.
I'm going to go a little conservative here. I'm going to fix these engines.
Repairs completed.
And kind of get in as safe a position as I can.
All right.
Now this guy is
So,
leading a charmed life.
so do we want to use him now, or do we want to take our torpedo and fighter carrier and maybe move him around a little bit? Now we've got a torpedo heading towards us at the top.
Right,
of the
we
screen
definitely want to
there.
get out of the way of that torpedo. And it might be time to launch another fighter. So move out of the way. We'll launch our fighter.
Fighters launched.
All right. He's going to stay right there, hiding behind those asteroids.
Okay.
Okay, we could probably take out
So there's
one
like
of these guys.
3 potential ships we could kill this turn. So
Right.
either one of the main fleet ships, that Megabot to the right there, he's cut up a little bit.
These two both have critical damage, so I'm going to assume that the enemy is going to try and repair these next turn.
Okay.
And we're not going to have to worry about them.
What about going all the way up to the undamaged Megabot, slipping in right behind him,
Yes.
because we know we can do 145 from the rear.
Right.
Oh!
This guy,
wow.
I could take him out, but he's already pretty damaged, so we'll leave that for the fighter on the next turn.
Okay.
So this guy's the greatest threat to it. Oh.
Good.
Okay. Good. So far, so good.
All right.
Again, I'm going to try and turn towards the enemy so they can't hit me from behind.
Okay, you got a little bit of move left on
I
the
think
torpedo
that's
boat, but I think we'll
probably
leave him.
the safest spot right
Yeah.
there.
Incoming torpedo.
Okay, and the
we-
torpedo runs. And it actually just destroyed that asteroid, didn't it?
That's another tactic you can use. If there's some asteroids in your way, you can take them out with torpedoes.
That's pretty cool.
So, as I suspected, they repaired their starships. They used their action point for this turn to repair their starships. So that actually saved us a lot.
So what's cool is we can take the tank, the ship that's currently selected, and we can go around the top there and maybe shoot at the Megabot. Because anywhere else that we go in that arc, there's going to be asteroids between us and the enemy.
That is a good idea. And we know this guy's pretty low on hit point, so probably can come back to him a little later. These are the the big threats to us. So we have
Excellent.
just enough to take him out. Oh!
Oh, he must have his shield. He must have his shields out. Oh, he does. Yeah.
He's low on shields. So who's the most dangerous? This guy's got 2 lasers and 2 cannon.
Yep.
This guy's got
3 lasers.
3 lasers. Huh. I think we're kind of in a cannon battle here. The cannon are more dangerous at close range.
And our sniper can certainly do 78
Yeah.
damage easily.
Oh, sure. Oh,
So,
sure.
Plus 237 is a great number.
All right. Never want to pass up 237
No.
damage. No. All right, here's our fighter. Let's see what our sniper can do. We got big plans for him. So, 18.
Really? Is that all?
Ooh. Well, we
Is there-
can't really get behind him. That's the problem. And he's got pretty awesome level 3 shields and level 2 armor. So that's pretty. Well,
that's
we'll
why.
ding him a little bit.
Yeah.
But
Would have been
blade-
nice to get a crit there, and that would have forced him to.
That would have been awesome, but
Yeah. Okay.
all right. So bring our fighters out. Let's see. They might be able to get a shot on this guy. I'm going to chance it here. Try and get as close as I can.
Oh.
25.
Oh, it's not enough to kill.
But maybe we can get a critical hit.
Enemy
Yes.
lasers
His
disabled.
lasers are damaged. All right.
So that's pretty much going to force him to repair that turn.
He
because-
could ignore that and use his cannon. Unfortunately, his cannon are not damaged. But we'll see what he decides to do on the next turn.
Okay, we've got 1 torpedo left on this ship here.
Yeah, I'm going to send it over in this direction here, just for fun.
You could send it kind of like north of it. Yeah, just like that. And then that'll flush him back the other way and give our ships time to chase him down.
All right. Go into a safe position here.
I think that's good.
Okay. Oh. Ooh.
Oh, he shot our fighters.
That's interesting. Yeah, the fighters actually make a great diversion. So it looks like he's moved out of the way of our torpedo here. Why don't we take out some asteroids?
That sounds like fun.
Okay.
So this is our sniper ship.
This actually looks like our tank.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the wrong one. Yes.
So he's going to take a close-up shot here. This is the closest target. Oh, man. Awesome. We might want to negotiate with Elodie about now, just to see what she has to say.
It would be nice, but she chose her own destiny.
That's right. It's too late. Too late, Elodie. And I think we can just sneak around for a shot here on this last ship. Ooh, 48 damage. Yes.
Good work.
Okay, wow. That was probably quite a battle. I actually was a little worried there at the beginning, but due to clever strategy and Pete's help, we were actually able to win that battle. So that was the enemy's homeworld, and we now own the kingdom. So that was a very significant battle for us.
So, do you know where Pete went?
Pete, he was here a minute ago. I think he stepped out.
Interesting.
I'm sure he's fine.
Well, the show must go on.
Yeah. Yes.
So I'm Kevin Schultz. I'm the community manager at Firaxis Games, and for the last couple of weeks, well, on the last stream, I was collecting your questions in chat. Was just asking everybody in chat right now what your questions are, and we're gonna get Sid Meier. We're gonna put him on the hot seat, the Twitch chat question hot seat. Are you ready for the?
I'm ready. I'm
Okay.
ready.
So we're going to blaze through these pretty fast because I think we're a little low on time, but question number 1. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. So why a 2D map when you're on the tactical part of the game instead of a 3D map?
Well, we love maps to start with. Maps give you so many interesting choices, the terrain, the geography, the positioning. There's a lot of cool strategy that kind of almost comes for free with a map. So we decided, how do we create a kind of a map type situation in space where there's a lot of emptiness? Well, how about asteroids? How about these things called narrow passages? How about jump gates? How about planets and things like that? So we kind of dumped a lot of cool things into the world to to create a map type situation. And 2D is really a way to keep things very understandable for the player. It really we want the game to be about the decisions that you make, not trying to figure out what's going on. And we really found that the 2D map kind of gave us that perfect combination of interesting decisions, but still a clarity that allows you to really create strategies and implement your tactics.
Cool. So every time you start a new game in Starships, are you in a new star system? Are you always in the same star system? Same set of planets, different set of planets? How does that work?
Every game starts in a new galaxy. We're all about replayability, so every game has a different set of planets, different orientation, different enemies that are out there. So the rules are the same. The gameplay, which you learn in one game, you can carry forward to the next game. Okay. But every game starts off differently. Plus, you have a bunch of initial options: which affinity you want to be with, who your leader is, what size map you want to play on. So there's many ways that every game is actually going to be different. It's going to be your own personal story that you create going through it.
Okay. So someone was asking, can you target specific parts of a ship? I think what the real question is, how is positioning important in Starships?
Yes. You don't actually target specific parts of the ship. However, the orientation of the ship is very important. We mentioned earlier how the shields are more effective from the front, and they're weaker in back. So that kind of flanking and positioning is important. Getting one shot may weaken the shields on a ship, so getting a second shot in that same turn is another interesting strategy. So those are the ways that you can really use clever tactics to be more effective.
Can you turn a ship without moving? Or?
Yes, that's an option, is to use one of your movement points just to turn in place.
Cool. And what's the difference between the different your different offensive capabilities? So laser, plasma, torpedoes.
They're all good in different situations. Lasers are long range, so they're good for kind of hanging back and shooting, but they're less powerful, for example. Cannon, shorter range, but very powerful if you get up close. Torpedoes travel slowly, but they can pass through asteroid fields, and you can kind of fire and forget. They're a little bit like grenades in XCOM, for example, where an enemy ship might be hiding in a very good defensive position. The only way to kind of get them out of there is to shoot a torpedo in there and make them move. Plus, they have the ability, which we showed, to destroy asteroids. So they're a very flexible weapon. Fighters, very cool, can do a lot of damage. They're fragile, but you launch them, and they're replenished at the beginning of every mission. So they're another tactic that you can use.
Cool. Can you automate battles?
You cannot automate battles. No. This game is about starships, about commanding your fleet, and the fun is in the battles. So whenever we look at a game situation or a topic, it's kind of like who in this world is having the most fun, and we think that the admiral of this fleet is having the most fun, and his job is to build the fleet and to take it into battle. So we're not going to take that fun away from you.
Right. And the battles themselves are very dynamic. So you have your crew status that could take an effect, whether you've played a bunch of missions already on your turn, and your ships could be at a range of damage. So I guess automating is
would take all the fun out of the game.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, absolutely. Final question on the hot seat. Are there aliens in Starships? Are there any playable alien races?
There are, the story of Beyond Earth, which we're building on, kind of takes humanity far into the future. So we are still dealing with the history of humanity. As you can see by the look of the leaders, they have changed, people have evolved, but these are still kind of relatable human characters and not weirdo aliens.
Right. Well, cool. Thank you so much for answering chat's questions. We still don't know where Pete is.
Well, I guess you'll have to tune in next week to see what happened to Pete. And next week, I think we'll, one of the things we've talked about is how some of the ideas in Starships and some of the concepts that we're using are actually related to our other game, XCOM. And we're going to try and get Jake Solomon, the designer of XCOM, here next week, and maybe we can talk about some design things and kind of the process he goes through to design, some of the thoughts that I had in making this game. And so we hope you come back next week and check that out.
Oh, cool. Before we sign off, I just want to say again, please vote for Andy Clark's Lego Worker. It's so cool. I would love it to become a real thing. I always like to tell people in the studio, if everyone playing Civ at this very moment just went to the page and voted, it would be clear. So please vote for that. Thanks for everyone. Thank you all for tuning in, watching. Come back next week. We'll have a pretty cool show, it sounds like. For Sid Meier and for Pete. Send Pete your condolences. I don't know where he is. He might be dead. Who knows? Thanks, everybody. With Pete dead, do I get a promotion?
Oh, sure. Yeah. You did a great job.
Yes. Good job. Cha-ching.